Okay, so now we're on 21 in Exodus. Let's see how long. This is a pretty long book. I like to know how long though. Oh, it has 40, so we're halfway through already. That's good. Let's hope it doesn't take me 21 days. I better kick it up a notch. Maybe try to do 2 a day or something. Okay, so Moses said, "Now these are the judgments which you shall set before them." God said it to Moses. And he said, "If you buy a Hebrew servant, he shall serve 6 years, and in the 7th he shall go out free and pay nothing. If he comes in by himself, he shall go out by himself. If he comes in married, then his wife shall go out with him. If his master has given him a wife, and she has borne him sons or daughters, the wife and her children shall be her master's, and he shall go out by himself. But if the servant plainly says, 'I love my master, my wife, and my children, I will not go out free,' then his master shall bring him to the judges. He shall also bring him to the door or to the doorpost, and his master shall pierce his ear with an AWL, and he shall serve him forever. And if a man sells his daughter," back then, people, they were like in tribes, and there were those who, just like today, you have the people that are the hard workers. Oh, hold on 1 second. I just got a Snapchat. So this is how society worked, right? And actually, it still to this day works like this in other countries. And what he was in, but God also commanded that they take care of their people, huh? They weren't to, and that's why he brought Israel out of enslavement, right? They weren't being kind to the Israelites. They were being cruel, and that is not what God teaches. These people have a responsibility to those who are considered their servants. And remember, Jesus was a servant. But whatever your role here is, but Jesus is our master, right? We are servants to Jesus. And remember how it says in the Bible, everyone according to their ability, right? And so you always have more people at the bottom who can do the work. I don't want to say they're at the bottom. They all have the same importance. Remember, God also said he loves everyone the same, but everyone is created differently, and everything is according to their ability. We've already read that, right? And some of us are worker bees. It's just the same how we were talking about how everything works in a circular motion, right? And just like it, even if you look at the ants, right? You got the queen ant, and everyone is working, right, to make this little world of theirs follow in unison. And it's the same for us. Hold on, got another Snapchat for free. And it's the same in the world today. People act like it's not, but it is. You have the leaders of the countries, right? You have all the people with their jobs working, even in Western society, right? Everybody has their job, and everyone's job is important to get everything working the way that it needs to work. And people get paid, and some people get money who don't work. Normally, this should not just be for lazy people, but sometimes the laws aren't made correctly as far as I'm concerned. I think that the worst thing you can do is have a lazy person be lazy. It's bad for them. But sick people, mentally ill people, these types of things, even sick people can work some. It depends on their sickness, and even mentally ill people can work some. But, it's very important to be a part of something to contribute, right? Okay, so anyways, and then he says, and if a man sells his daughter to be a female slave, she shall not go out as the male slaves do. If she does not please her master who has betrothed her to himself, then he shall let her be redeemed. He shall have no right to sell her to foreign people, since he has dealt deceitfully with her. And if he has betrothed her to his son, he shall deal with her according to the custom of daughters. They weren't supposed to mistreat the women, right? And they weren't like men. Men were they had a different role. And the women were supposed to be taken care of. If he takes another wife, he shall not diminish her food, her clothing, and her marriage rights. So even if he takes another wife, he wasn't to take from her. He's supposed to take care of her. And if he does not do these three for her, then she shall go out free without paying money. So if he isn't going to take care of her after that, she was allowed to go free. He who strikes a man so that he dies shall surely be put to death. However, if he did not lie in wait, but God delivered him into his hand, then I will appoint for you a place where he may flee. So, if he did not murder the person, right? If he did not lie in wait to kill someone, right? If he accidentally killed him, or God delivered him into his hand. In other words, the guy came to attack him and he protected himself, or he protected somebody this guy was attacking, or whatever, right? Then God says he will appoint a place for the man to flee. And but if a man acts with premeditation against his neighbor to kill him by treachery, you shall take him from my altar that he may die. You're not supposed to murder people. You're not supposed to lie in wait and murder people or plan to murder people. And God says you will take them from his altar because he's not going to protect them anymore from the world. He's not going to give the blessings that he gives those who are following his commandments, right? And he who strikes his father or mother shall surely be put to death. He who kidnaps a man and sells him, or if he is found in his hand, shall surely be put to death. So you're not supposed to kidnap people and sell them. And see, this is how we already know. We know we're allowed to protect ourselves. We know that we're not supposed to watch other people kill someone or beat a child or any of these things. And I'm not talking about a spanking. I'm talking about beat, right? We know, and hopefully God gives us the courage to step up in these things. And hopefully he does deliver us and we are able to help. But also, we know that you're not supposed to kidnap people and sell them. And that's a big thing today. And he who curses his father or mother shall surely be put to death. You're not supposed to curse your father and mother. Now, there's a lot of people out there that don't have good fathers and mothers, right? But, you just have to move forward and stay away from them. If men contend with each other and one strikes the other with a stone or his fist, and he does not die but is confined to his bed, if he rises again and walks about outside with his staff, then he who struck him shall be acquitted. He shall only pay for the loss of his time and shall provide for him to be thoroughly healed. If a man beats his male or female servant with a rod so that he dies under his hand, he shall surely be punished. Notwithstanding, if he remains alive a day or two, he shall not be punished, for he is his property. If men fight and hurt a woman with child so that she gives birth prematurely, yet no harm follows, he shall surely be punished accordingly as the woman's husband imposes on him, and he shall pay as the judges determine. But if any harm follows, then you shall give life for life. We know, so he knows that people are going to get volatile, and he knows that a lot of people have tempers that are difficult for them to control. See, all of this stuff, of course, has been happening throughout the whole history of the world, and he's laying it out for them, right? These situations that can occur, right? So, eye for eye, tooth for tooth, hand for hand, foot for foot, burn for burn, wound for wound, stripe for stripe. And if people did this today, these people who throw acid on these women's faces, if they knew they were going to get acid thrown back on their faces, do you think they would throw acid on those women's faces? If these people who beat these children in return got the same beating, do you think they would beat those children? There's a lot of adults that need to be beat. And like when he talks about striking these servants, he's not talking about, oh, you can strike your servants all day long. But if a man finds one of his servants beating his wife and he goes over there and beats that man, right? Because he's supposed to beat that man for beating his wife or beating his children. And I'm not talking about a spanking for a kid to get their attention. These are the things that he's talking about. If a man strikes the eye of his male or female servant and destroys it, he shall let him go free for the sake of his eye. And if he knocks out the tooth of a male or female servant, he shall let him go free for the sake of his tooth. So then they are free, right? If he actually damages them like this. And see how also teeth are important even back then? A lot of people don't even realize how important their teeth are. But it was important to God. If you're going to go to the point where you actually hurt someone in this type of way, for whatever reason, then that person is free. And it's the same in today's world. When you go to a job and you lose your eye, right? And what do? They try to repair it. And like even a lot of people go on disability and stuff. Now, they don't do it for teeth and stuff like that, but you get my drift. This was a very long time ago, but it's still understandable. If an ox gores a man or a woman to death, then the ox shall surely be stoned, and its flesh shall not be eaten, but the owner of the ox shall be acquitted. It's not the ox's fault, he says. But if the ox tended to thrust with its horn in times past, and it has been made known to his owner, and he has not kept it confined so that it has killed a man or woman, the ox shall be stoned, and its owner shall also be put to death. And that is the same today. You'll have people, I need to hurry because I got to go to work, but who have like a dog that bites. They already know that dog bites. Now, if that dog bites the first time, that's different. It's not the owner's fault. But if that dog bites the second time and it damages somebody, or frightens, or any of that stuff, that is the responsibility of that owner, and they should be punished accordingly. And if people were punished for not taking care of their animals like they're supposed to, they would take better care of their animals. There's a lot of people that, I love my animals so much. Well, you don't love them enough to teach them how to be a good animal, then you are not an animal lover. It's just how it is. If there is imposed on him a sum of money, then he shall pay to redeem his life whatever is imposed on him. If he wants to be redeemed, he has to pay whatever money that is imposed. Well, see, even way back then, whether it has gored a son or gored a daughter, according to this judgment, it will be done for him. So the men were not above the women in things like this. It didn't matter if it was a son or a daughter. If that animal gored one of these people, he paid the same. If the ox scores a male or female servant, he shall give to their master 30 shekels of silver, and the ox shall be stoned. And if a man opens a pit, or if a man digs a pit and does not cover it, and an ox or donkey falls in it, the owner of the pit shall make it good. He shall give money to their owner, but the dead animal shall be his. So if you accidentally kill someone's animal out of negligence, right, you have to pay that owner. If one man's ox hurts another so that it dies, then they shall sell the live ox and divide the money from it, and the dead ox shall also divide. They shall also divide. Because, they ate these animals and they used their skin and everything. Or if it was known that the ox tended to thrust in time past, and its owner has not kept it combined, he shall surely pay ox for ox, and the dead animal shall be his own. Okay, that's 21. Gotta go. Have a good day.